it's been a pretty busy 6 months. In the last 6 months, what we've done is we've restarted mining, and we've proven that we can mine at the required rate. We've commenced crushing on site, and we've proven that we can crush at the required rate. We've commissioned our processing plant and our beneficiation plant and demonstrated that we can beneficiate rock at a required rate. So the plant was sitting around 70 tonnes per hour going through and around 70% recovery. We're seeing better performance on both those metrics. And the main thing, of course, is we're now creating a product that we can demonstrate the quality to our customers. So in the last 6 months, we've had most of the major customers here on site. They've had a look at our product. They're very happy with it, very excited with it. And starting really in July, we started selling that either to customers either by direct truck to their operations in Australia or by containerized solution. And in October, we actually loaded our first ship where we put 7,000 tonnes on for a customer in Southern Australia. So the process to go from the mine to the customer is pretty simple, really. So we mine it mine it in an open cut. It's what's called strip mining, so it's near surface. It comes out around 30-31% P2O5. The first thing we need to do is crush it, and we're crushing that down to -3 mil or a -2 mil product, and that's done through our contract crushing plants. The next step is then to actually feed it through our beneficiation or our washing plant there. And what we do is we're using water there to wash out a lot of that clay, so that takes a lot of the aluminium oxides out with it. And then we're using a gentle grind with vertical attritioners to actually rub off some of the iron oxides, which is another undesirable impurity, and then we're rinsing that out as well. So then the final product comes out at about 18% moisture, but before we can sell it, it needs to get down to 7% moisture, and that's really the tricky part. So what we're doing here is we're standing on a drying pad. This is a concrete drying pad, and within the pad are some grates. We put the stockpiles on top of the grates. We run a pump beneath those stockpiles to draw the water level down. That works quite well. In a couple of days, we get from 80% down to around 12%. And then we actually put it onto other drying pads where we then spread it out, and we require the sun and good weather for it to dry. And we'll go through there, and every day or so we'll scarify it, we'll loosen the material up, and when we're confident the material's got down to around 7% moisture, which is the maximum customers will accept, we'll then grade that off, and then we'll load that, and we'll put that into containers. These are special containers that then are trucked currently to Mount Isa. In Mount Isa, it's put on a train and taken to Townsville. The product is stored in those containers in Townsville, and then when the vessel comes in, we take those containers to the wharf, and using a revolving discharge unit for those containers, we load the vessel. So we can load around 500 tonnes per hour, so that's not too bad. We can live with that. So we're now in production. We're fortunate that demand's been overwhelming, and what we've done is actually contracted or allocated production to all major customers in this part of the world for the next 3 years. And so that's a really good position to be in. We've started delivering on those products to those customers. At the moment, really the aim for the next 12 months is how can we look to triple production and really get to 800,000 tonnes per annum, where we really want to be as soon as possible, at the lowest capital cost also. So that's really the effort at the moment. And we've been really lucky. One of the reasons why we start from almost a standing still to get to this point in 6 months is that we've been lucky enough to attract and employ and retain the most experienced, or what I believe the most experienced fertiliser team in Australia. So one thing, when you look around site, it's pretty obvious that everyone knows what they're doing, and we've been truly blessed to actually be able to attract all these people, and they've done a remarkable job to get the site up and running, to get it done safely, with minimal environmental impact, and to start supplying to customers at the right quantity and the right quality that customers really want to see. And that's really a great effort by the likes of Brian Hall, Steve Davis and their team. It's an amazing result, really.